Welcome back to Fox 51 today. With summertime, you know, a lot of fun activities, but that can also lead to a lot of injuries.
A lot of problems, folks having fun.
Definitely. So today we have Dr. Charles Perricone with Trinity Mother Francis. He's going to tell us about some of these summertime injuries. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, now, I mean, I know you're busy all year long, but summer especially, I'm sure with 4th of July coming up and all these holidays, you see a lot of different injuries come into your office.
Yeah, summertime we see of course, a lot more burns. We see a lot of sunburns, other kind of burns, a lot of insect bites, and of course cuts, scrapes, ankle injuries and stuff from people running in sports and that kind of stuff.
So insects, I mean, there's a lot of those that are pesky, from obviously wasps to spiders and red bugs. Tell us about some of the things that, or maybe some we don't think of even.
Well, first, kind of like talk maybe a little bit about prevention, because we see so many mosquito bites. Kids come in just covered with mosquito bites, and of course now with mosquitoes we're worried about West Nile virus and some of these other viruses. So really, the DEET containing products work quite well for preventing mosquito bites. So I do encourage people to use that. And of course, they tell people not to go out in the morning and then late in the evening. Of course, when it gets hot, that's when you do want to be outside. But do kind of protect your kids and protect yourself from getting these kind of bites, particularly mosquito bites. And the products do work if you use them. Also, if you're worried about ticks and fleas and that kind of stuff, you can actually put something called permethrin on your clothing beforehand. And that actually works quite well for preventing, again, mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas from biting in the first place. If you do get these kind of injuries, it's kind of a good idea to, I usually recommend like an oral antihistamine, something like Zyrtec or Allegra, Claritin, something like that to help prevent the itching, and then maybe a topical hydrocortisone cream to kind of help with also with the itching.
Well, I could definitely use this advice because I have to say my feet are covered with mosquito bites right now. Now, something else that happens during the summer months, you know, with all these holidays, you've got a lot of grilling and a lot of fireworks, so I'm sure there are a lot of burns that come into your office. Are there any tips or recommendations you have for us to prevent this from happening?
But I mean, if you have a burn, I don't really know how to prevent it. I mean, obviously be careful when you're grilling, especially with kids. I mean, be very careful with the fireworks. I mean, remember they're kids, they're going to want to play with them, supervise them. I think that's the main thing, is just be careful. If you do get a burn, you know, if it's a fairly minor burn, probably the most important thing is just washing the burn off, and just being, you really don't have to do a whole lot. Maybe a topical, I mean, whatever kind of hand cream you have is good. If you got some Aveeno lotion or whatever kind of hand cream you have in the house, just to help keep the burn from hurting so much. If you get blisters, my recommendation, if they're not very big, if they're smaller than a dime, just leave them alone. I mean, they'll take care of themselves, and it actually kind of helps protect them in the first place. And again, just kind of gently wash them, and again, put something like some kind of whatever hand cream, Noxzema, whatever you have at home.
Now, for a severe sunburn, I guess at some point people would come in with that. Now, what can be done to, maybe if it's not too bad of a sunburn, to treat it at home? What are some things people can do to put on them?
Again, to prevent, I mean, the best thing is prevent in the first place, and of course clothing helps with that. So wear clothes if you can. If you can't, if you're going to be outside, if you're going to be at the beach or at the lake or whatever, then use a sunscreen. Most sunscreens are, of course, you can buy, I guess, from 4 to 50 or 50 or more. But basically, you can only block 100% of the sunlight. So anywhere from 30 to 50 is all you need. And make sure you use enough of it, and make sure you read the instructions and reapply it. If you do get a burn, again, if it's not too bad, just a cream is all you need. Just whatever kind of hand lotion you use. Again, Aveeno or something like that is fine. If you have blisters, again, as long as they're not too big, again, I kind of use, if it's dime size or smaller, probably just leave it alone. If they're real tense, or if you have a lot of blisters, then you might want to see your doctor about that.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by this morning with this great information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, great.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
All right, well, coming up next here on Fox 51 Today, hope you are hungry. Texas Boutique Bakery is here with some of their delicious desserts, all when Fox 51 Today returns.